Morning. Thank you, Crosspoint brothers and sisters. Thank you for giving us some time to give. A lot has changed. God has been doing some amazing and crazy things to us. Ceci and I and our 4 children previously were working in the Amazon jungle among tribal people last 7.5 years, and come and visit family and friends here in town. When every 3 years or so we'd come back for furlough, and in December, the Lord had us come back for various reasons. COVID mostly was the reason. While we were back, the Lord changed our assignment. So if you remember, in May 2021, the United States government began to pull out of Afghanistan, and the Taliban began to retake that country. And by August 31st of 2021, 87,000 Afghan refugees landed on our soil in different military bases around the United States. And then shortly thereafter, after a few months of being on military bases, were then sent to various cities around the United States. As they were arriving in our town, Tampa, Florida, we were just arriving from Peru the same day. And so as we were there, we were in Florida spending some time with family, and we started hearing this news from some of our neighbors. Hey, there's these refugees, these people, they're living in and around our apartment complexes, and I see people walking to the store, and they're dressed differently, they're dressed funny, and they speak a different language. And hey, Aaron and Ceci, you're here. Do you guys want to help us out and figure out how we can help these folks? The true evangelical faith, which what we just sang about, was we were living that out just then. And so as we began to help and learn about the needs among our Afghan friends, our new Afghan friends, God made it very, very clear that His intention of taking us out of Peru for a short time was actually for a long time. And He's called us to work and to serve and to help these Afghan refugees in the Tampa area. As we did more digging, we found out there are over 1,000 Afghan refugees in our area that we can serve, but then there are multiple thousands of Muslims and other refugees from other countries right around our town in Tampa, and we had no idea. I mean, we've been living in the jungle, so I guess we have a little bit of excuse, but even our friends who lived in Tampa for a long time did not know that there was this number of mostly Muslim refugees living in our town in Tampa. And so since then, since about September, that's a weird month. Since about February, once we began working full-time, our mission came on board and approved our team, so we have an official team now working and focusing on refugees and with our Afghan friends. And we began teaching classes, English classes, to help them in their English, because they speak no English. They have no real knowledge of American culture except for what they see on YouTube and on Facebook. So that leaves a lot to be desired. They have a lot of misconceptions and just a lot of unknowns about coming to America, what it means to live here, what it means to have a new life. They leave a war-torn country of 40 years of war. Most of them were soldiers that worked alongside our U.S. troops. And they had to find a new life because the Taliban were coming after them and knew that their life was in danger. And so they found themselves in Tampa and in Cleveland and in many number of places around the United States. And we just so happened to run into a very special group that we've grown very close to. We've become kind of social workers to them, helping them with their doctor's appointments and getting them food and all those things. And we've been partnering with local churches to host them for language school and for other things. But one actual cross-point connection that we got was out of Bradenton, Florida. We moved to Brandon, Florida, Tampa, and we said, I think we remember the last time we were there was some cross-point people who moved down to Bradenton. What were their names, Ceci? Was it Dave and Rhonda Schlebaugh? Oh, yeah. They were talking about being missionaries themselves by moving down to Bradenton, Florida. Maybe we should give them a call and see what they're doing down there, and maybe they'd be interested in joining us and see what the Lord might be doing. And sure enough, they live about 30 miles away from our home. We called them up. Ceci had breakfast, coffee with Rhonda, and then our families got together, and we showed them the work we were doing with the Afghans. And wouldn't you know it, 3 Afghan families moved to their city, and we knew who they were, and so we made the introduction. And so now Rhonda and Dave and their family are serving alongside us, these 3 families that have, there's 7 children, 8 children, and 4 children, plus the adults, all living in the same house or right close to each other. And Rhonda and Dave, they're helping the best way they can. And Rhonda was instrumental in getting, having one of the moms who was pregnant, helping her with getting to the hospital so she could have her twins. And it's been just kind of a great and a interesting and weird and odd connections that the Lord does with what He's doing with these Afghan folks. Because we're now in the United States, we have a number of needs. Because we're an official team, we still have a need for new partners and people who maybe you guys have a missionary heart and have always wanted to serve overseas, but you just never knew or could see yourself living in the deep waters of the Amazon jungle or over in a European country somewhere. But with 87,000 refugees in our backyard, you can just go down the street and join a team right here in the United States and do mission work like you would in a faraway country, because that's where they're from, and they have so much need. You'd be welcome to have a conversation with us after, and we could talk to you about what that would look like to be a missionary among Muslims right here in the United States, and share your faith with them. And we've lived off of monkeys and bugs over the last couple of years, in the last 7 years, and that's real cheap in the jungle. Living in the United States, McDonald's is much more expensive than what we could eat even in there, and so we have some financial needs, obviously, to be able to survive here in the U.S. And so if you'd like to hear about our financial needs, we'd love to be able to share that with you as well. And then obviously just joining us in prayer. This is a brand new endeavor. I mean, we've been working with tribal people in a remote part of the world, bringing the gospel to them for over the last 7.5 years. We have not thought about Muslims or Afghanistan or the Middle East or any of that because, well, we've been busy doing something else. And now the Lord is bringing us back and having us do a brand new ministry in a brand new way. And so we're learning a lot, and we're relying on a lot of friends and people who have experience, and we're just kind of embracing it and riding this great adventure the way the Lord has brought it to us. When we were talking about this process, we're talking about, did God change our call? Did He call us to a new place, or did He call us back to the United States, or call us to Afghan people? And as Ceci and I have been wrestling through it, I think God doesn't change His call. Our call, my wife and I, our call from the beginning of our missionary journey is to take the gospel to the places where people do not know the gospel. They've never heard, they don't know who Christ is, and we want to be the people that do that work. And whether it's in Peru or even in our backyard with Afghans, that's what we're able to do. And I think Romans 15:21 just is a great summary of that for our life, our calling, is that those who have never been told will see, and those who have never heard will understand. And so that's where we feel like our place is in this gospel work. And so, anyway, we'll be around this week, actually, here in Baltic. If you guys in Baltic, we'll be in Baltic, but we'll be around town here. If you have any questions, if you'd like to catch up with us and hear more about it, please feel free to reach out. Mark has our number. You can get a hold of us. Of course, Iris is well connected here as well. So just feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to show you some photos and videos and some of the exciting things that the Lord is now doing in us while we're here. So thank you for the opportunity, y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Aaron. We're going to, when we come to prayer requests, we do want to lift you guys up in prayer. So we'll go there in a minute. Josh, could you get the announcements up?